Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I love a weekend cruise, and I am super excited to be here on a very different one for me. You know, you all know that I've gone through the ranks with Royal Caribbean, even MSC Celebrity, Virgin, and this is my first Carnival cruise, and so I'm super excited to bring you the Carnival Conquest, which has been running weekends as long as I can remember, honestly. Like, Royal Caribbean has changed out their weekend fleet several times, and the Carnival Conquest is still here, and I have never made it over here, which is totally on me. I apologize, but I am here now, and I had a really good time. I'll get to the punchline there. But let's go over some details I'm going to share with you about the ship. She is from 2002. So she is an older girl. She's about 23 years old. She has been well maintained, as you are going to see, and still has that small world charm that I love in a cruise ship. She's going to come in at about 110,000 gross tons, and she's going to carry about 3,000 total passengers. So we're going to go through this. This is my first time on this ship. This is a different design of a ship, different class, and so apologies on the video if it's, you know, jumps a little bit. I think I've done a good job with it, or will do a good job with it, but let me know down in the comments, and certainly appreciate you all letting me share with you the Carnival Conquest. Welcome to the Carnival Conquest. I'm here in the Atrium. It is only 3 main floors here in the middle section of the ship, but it does go all the way up to deck 9 by the elevators here, and my camera star can go all the way there. But I'll show you where you can get these elevators, and you can actually see the beautiful views from the glass that looks out in here. You're gonna have one of your main bars here. This is the artistry bar, and you'll see that a lot of the actual events are gonna be happening down here. We are here for Frightfully Fun Halloween because it is middle of October, almost Halloween. So you're gonna have a few places where you can hang out, you can sit here. You know, I don't feel like this area is used as much as some of the others. It's on the 3rd floor, and as you're gonna see, it's a little removed from everything else, so a lot of people don't come here. But I will quickly pop outside while I'm here. Hopefully the camera lens isn't gonna fog, and show you the walking track. You've got some seats down there where you can hang out at. And you've got the Carnival Freedom on the other side of us, and more seats down there. Coming back in, and this is kind of all that Deck 3 has to offer. If I come around a little bit, you're gonna see guest services is over here. So you can come up clear. You got guest services over here. That's glad to help you out. You're also gonna have the very popular machine over here. This normally has a line for it, so you can find it when it doesn't. That is great. This is where you can add cash or value to your account. Continuing on, you're gonna see that you've got your theater here. And so I'm not gonna come in here for the theater to show you. I'm gonna see if I can sneak in further up, but it is on decks 3, 4, and 5. So it is a larger theater. You're okay. Coming on over, I'm gonna call it the elevators while I'm here, because I think these are just kind of neat that they have so many different elevators. So they got 3 on this side and 3 on this side. And then there's 4 further down here. So they are not all on the same elevator switch. So if you press this button, it'll get the ones in the middle for you. But if you want one of those glass ones that I was telling you about that I really like, you're gonna come over here and press the buttons here, and that'll get you in these glass elevators overlooking the atrium. Coming over here, you're gonna have Carnival Adventures, so your shore excursions. This is where you're gonna book all of those. We're in Celebration Key today, so all these people are currently working, and we're off the ship tomorrow. Dream Studio, so if you want to get professional photography done, they have a ton of photo setups on here and places where you can get your picture taken. Been really impressed with that. Tons of different backdrops and ways of posing that I've not seen on other cruise ships. Coming up to deck 4, quickly pan and just show you kind of the area that we were just at in the middle of the atrium there. And we're gonna continue walking around the atrium here, showing you what all there is. This is your photo gallery. So they do have the tablets for it. It is called Pixels, but they're also gonna print these out in the old school fashion. She is an old ship, right? Carnival Conquest, old ship. So you're gonna be able to see where they post your pictures here, and you can look and find yours. But we're gonna walk around and see how it's doing. But I think that the digital ones work. I've not gotten a picture here because I don't get free pictures on board this ship. So I've not taken a single picture so far. Here's another one of the kiosks for Pixels. You're gonna see that you've got the theater back down there. And again, we're gonna pop up to that. Well, actually, let me see if we can walk into it right now while we are here. And they've also got these neat little clocks up here. This is something I've not seen on other cruise ships. I've just enjoyed having them there. They're easy to read. So I've kind of enjoyed those. All right, I'm gonna go quiet for a little bit and let's see if we can pop into the theater. And I'll show you what's going on. All right, the theater here is absolutely massive. It is actually not a bad theater. You've got plenty of seatings down below. The tables, I always find a little bit awkward, but they are great for your drinks. Unlike other ships where your drink may spill, it doesn't quite fit. Here you can have really good visibility, but it goes all the way up. It's not been full on this side, which is kind of surprising. These seats here, they are in the aisle. So if you're gonna sit here, you're also gonna have that bar in front of you. If you go up a little bit higher, it gets steeper, you have a lot less leg room, but you're going to, oh, okay. I was asked to leave, so let's head on out. But to my point there, you know, I like sitting in the red chairs because they are a little bit better of a view. Coming back into the ship. So that is deck 4 forward is where we were just at, and we went up a little bit. So now we're gonna walk towards the middle of the ship and then to the aft section, cutting through the restaurants. So you've got more portraits over here where they'll post those. I haven't really spent any time on this deck, honestly, because there just hasn't been much here other than the pictures. So I haven't really felt the need to. You're gonna have your library here, so if you do wanna come and hang out, they've got dedicated time here, which I'm not seeing on other cruise lines. Again, this is my first time coming on a Carnival ship. They've got quiet hours. They've got a few different meetings, such as Jimmy K and Bill W, but they list out the schedule there for you. All right, so we're gonna turn now and continue going through the middle of the ship. This is something that I'm only doing now because everything is kind of closed. You've got Circle K here, so if you want to come and play video games, if you're ages 12 to 4, this is the spot for you. So they've got some computers in there for you to play on. And you're gonna have the internet help desk, something that this ship has not had amazing internet by any stretch of the imagination, but it has worked most of the time. I'll say that I'm having some kind of connectivity. So this is your Renoir restaurant. During the day, and normally when we're at sea, I would not cut through here. But since it's closed, nobody's in here, it looks okay, right? So I can show you guys what the Renoir dining hall looks like. This is not my favorite. I'm getting ready to show you what my favorite one is. But I haven't actually been in here when it's been in service. I can't speak much to it other than here it is on decks 3 and decks 4. And if you know how the dining hall assignments get made, let me know there in the comments. I don't know that you can request those, but if you can, I'm going to show you what you want to request. Continuing forward, we're now going to, by the way, we're in another elevator bank now, might I say. So there are 4 elevators here. But now we're going to go from deck 4 and we're going to cut across. I'm about to go the wrong direction. So we're going to head towards Monet Restaurant and the gallery. Make sure you are looking for these signs above doorways. They're going to be a really good indicator of what you're looking for, because this doesn't feel like what it just said, right? It feels kind of awkward. One of the bathrooms here, do like to call those out, but you've got the gallery here, which is going to be a pretty big conference space. Men's restroom, ladies' restroom, and again, more signs here. So we've got Alfred's bar that we're going to come into first. This is kind of a hidden place to me. I don't ever even think to come into here. So when you're coming on the Carnival Conquest, make sure you are familiarizing yourself, like you're doing now, with this floor plan. It doesn't necessarily make sense to me. So you might have to, you know, seek some of these places out. But here's Alfred's bar. I think this probably stays the quietest on the ship. They've got a ton of bars here, and they don't always stay busy. I've actually, you know, walking around the ship, tried to figure out where are people at. Like, I can't always imagine where they are. Let's walk around here. I'm going to show you, and there's the photo gallery once again. So not much there. So if you want to get pictures, you can do that. I honestly have never even walked to that side of the room just yet, because I just come through here because my dinner is on the other side of these doors, which has been my favorite spot to eat dinner. Don't know how I lucked out, but I am a big fan of the Monet restaurant. And it's also the Sunflower Atrium. So if you're looking at getting a selfie, a picture of some kind, I've seen some beautiful pictures on this ship with the sunflower here, especially if you're wearing any of the colors that are in the sunflower there. So coming on through into the Monet restaurant, I've been fortunate to be sitting up here on the top. I do like sitting up on the top versus downstairs where I can kind of think everybody is looking at me. But as you can see, so much more light comes in here. You've got the sunsets that we've been able to see, especially when we're cruising out of Miami, which was really, really nice. I'm gonna walk down here and show you just how great these views are that are back here. And you'll see that we are in Celebration Key when I get over there. See the nice beach and everything that they've done there. But this is just a great little spot to come and hang out. Come over here and show you different angle with better lighting. That's my table right there at the tin top. So they did put me with some other folks. I will say, you know, the lighting is not the best coming through because it is very backlit. It's also warm in here. So I imagine because nobody's in here, they don't run the air in this room, and so you're feeling the humidity. Or maybe we're just closer to where the doors are open, letting people come in from Celebration Key. But the food has been excellent so far. I've had some really interesting dishes. They've got the Emerald Specials on the menu that you're going to want to make sure that you definitely consider those. Those are some of the chef's recommendations, if you will, and in this case it is the Celebrity Chef Emerald. Coming back out, we're now going to cut up. So we're going to go back up to deck 4. Coming on up. All right, so actually I take that back. We were on deck 4, forgot that I moved. We're now on deck 5 here. So let's start in the back here. You've got Degas Lounge. I think that's at least how you pronounce it. It's D-E-G-A-S. Degas actually is probably how it's said. Let me see if I can get in here. The door's shut. Hopefully I don't get kicked out once again. Oh, come on through.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So this is Degas Lounge. They do a lot of events in here. It's an interesting space to me. The tables are big. So Carnival Conquest is really designed for large groups, it feels like. But I'm not really seeing a ton of large groups on here, but you see that most of these tables are all 10, 12 people kind of tables. You do have one of my favorite bars on the entire ship that nobody ever comes to or pays it any mind or love, but it is this one. I don't even know what the name of this bar is, but anytime I can sit and have this as my view, this is the aft of the ship. So if you're here while you are sailing around, you're gonna see the wake behind you. But this is just a beautiful spot. It is a fully stocked bar. Plenty of stools for you to come, hang out, and just enjoy. You will notice a lot of these chairs kind of have, actually this might be a better one to show, they are turned to face the stage, which is great. However, if you want to turn it to be with your friends, it rotates. So you can just swivel it, and you can be with your friends at the actual table. This is where karaoke has been. They had a comedian in here. Actually, I went to the late night comedy theater. Amazing. The absolute best late night comedy I've seen on a cruise ship. Hands down. Had me laughing hysterically, and everybody else in the theater as well. It was a great time. All right, so we are deck 5 aft. Now we're gonna walk all the way forward. So I'm gonna swing here towards the left first. This is one of those bars that, honestly, I forget about. I don't think I've seen it used for anything on this trip. It is Vincent's Bar. So you can just take a look here and check it out. And you've got a little stage over here. So if you're doing a private event or a ceremony, this might be a good spot for you. But I've honestly not seen it used for anything on this sailing so far. Coming over to Blues on the other side. There's a lot going on back here, isn't there? Feels kind of cramped, but a lot of the spaces are just smaller here. They're not meant for large people other than like Degas. So in Blues, you're gonna have your piano bar. So for those of you who love live music, you love a pianist, somebody who is going to be playing for you, this is where they're gonna come. I wish those keys compressed, that would be super cool to me. Good seating in here, you can pull up by the bar, but not a lot of seating. So if you do wanna come in here, I've not seen it busy on my weekend cruise, but you may want to come just a little bit early if you have a prime seat. If you're somebody who wants to butter up to the piano so that you get all of your songs played, come a little bit early. Over here, you've got the Alchemist. This is the bar where I think you can get the most fashionable drinks. If you want something special, this is where you're gonna be able to come for that. So I say that because the Alchemist bar, they're also wearing the white alchemy kind of jackets, if you will, and it just feels a little higher end with the chairs. It's also gonna be open pretty late. Why? Because you've got your nightclub right over here on the left. So this is your promenade that you are now looking at. You can see all the beautiful blown glass that they've got above. But then you can have your nightclub over here. We've got 3 different nights for our nightclub. You've got Latin, 90s and 2000s, and Caribbean. I came in here the first night. It's actually a really good time. I did enjoy myself. It was not as crowded as I thought that it was, or it could have been. Which is always nice. So the dance floor mainly pretty big, and you can definitely see where that is. Again, I would probably love one of these stools where I can just sit and watch people dance and have a really good time. I'm a people watcher at the end of the day. You've also got the chairs back here and some more loungy sections. Bar, though, is all the way on that other side over there. So if you come in here and it is crowded, you're gonna have to like navigate your way if you wanna get to that bar over there, or you can just step out and go to the Alchemist that we just looked at. Normally they don't have as much of a line. Coming out of there, we're now gonna swing into the arcade. So it's interesting they put this right beside of the nightclub, but it fits well because it kind of gives you a little bit of a hallway. Excuse me, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Gives you a little bit of hallway, but this is a massive arcade. It's really big. It's pretty warm in here as well, I would say, because all the lights, all the machines that are in here. But you see it does continue through there. Lots to do. So if you've got kiddos, you can absolutely come in here and they can have a blast for longer than I care to admit. Looks like they're trying to win something there as well. Excuse me. All right, coming back out to the Promenade again. So, this is a bar that I've also never seen open this cruise. Maybe I missed it, maybe I just wasn't here at the right time, but it hasn't actually been needed. I've not seen huge lines. You're gonna have a staircase here that I think people can walk by easily and not notice. That's gonna take you down to deck 4 if you wanna go to one of the restaurants. Coming back through, you've now on the left-hand side here, you've got Club O2. This is where teenagers can come and hang out. I'm not gonna step foot in there just to save a little bit of time. The glare is not gonna look like it anyway. But I do wanna call out the cafe that is here. This is all for purchase. But what they have is some amazing looking donuts over here. If I get off this ship without getting one of these and paying, I think they go for $4, I'm gonna be really impressed with myself, because the bacon caramel one has my name written all over it. And then you've got your drinks over here as well. Afternoon. So you can come over here and see what the prices are. If you have a drink package, it will be included in that. I've not really seen that big of a line here. You've got a place where you can buy some of the Carnival memorabilia. If you want some Carnival logo stuff, you can buy that in here, but that's not the primary or the main shop. Coming through the casino, it is closed, so I'll keep the camera on at the moment, but we'll still be quick about it. A lot of people hang out here. They do have a musician who stands here and plays. He plays really loud too in the casino, so you can hear him all over, but it is a good spot. This is probably the most popular bar on the ship, is the casino bar. So if you want to come hang out, grab a seat here, you kind of got to wait a little bit because it does stay popular. But the seating on the sides is also pretty nice, especially if you've got somebody playing. You're not really wanting to stand behind them. Maybe there's a jinx or a superstition there. That is a great place where you can sit and wait for them. Smoking is permitted in the casino, though I'll say either a lot of people haven't been smoking that much in it, or the ventilation system is just that good that it's not been an issue. You've got fine jewelry, as always, tag here to sew if you want a watch of some kind, and you're gonna have your, get the name up here for you, Cherry on top. I don't necessarily know what the play on words for. Oh, cherry on top, Jesus. Read, Brandon, read, cherry on top. I've, again, not stepped foot in here because this isn't the kind of candy that I like. I love my baked goods, but if you want candy, you can go in there and buy some of that. Coming this way, let me quickly show you fine jewelry. You've got Effie over here, and then you've got another one of your sell and sign kiosk down there where you can add money to your account. Coming back over here is where more of the stores that you're probably going to want to hit up are, which is going to be the Port Merchant. So they are a big fan of the Hennessy White here. So you can see the price for that is 3 for $160. It probably gets a little bit cheaper the more you buy. One thing I will point out is the skybox. So if I was to come out the other side of the casino, so the casino has a few entrances, you'll see that you've got this here. Quickly point in, show everybody. And that is the Players Club. I don't like getting people on camera if I can help, especially that close. So we'll come back out here. But if you want to see a game, if there's something going on, today is Sunday, so they're probably watching football. Behind me, you're gonna have the Carnival shop or Carnival store. This is where I got my ship model. So they did have one of those that I was super excited for, and it is the same model type that Royal Caribbean and Celebrity use, so it's gonna fit right in with the collection, just with a few different colors. All right, so this will be your third level entrance into the Toulouse Latrice Lounge. Again, hope I'm saying that right, but we're not gonna go in there because we've already been kicked out once. So now I'm gonna head upstairs to 9, and this is where the ship gets a little bit interesting, I would say. So I'm gonna show you the map real quick. So we're gonna cut through, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it exactly, but you've got deck 9 here that cuts through. You go up, you've got rooms on each side, and then you've kind of got this V kind of shape here. So we may focus in on just one section of that V to start with, but we're gonna play it by ear, see how it goes. I will let you know all along the way where we're at, so stay tuned. We're gonna pop back up upstairs. All right, the power of technology. So we're now on the Lido deck, deck 9, or the sun pool. So this is where you can walk outside. Behind me is gonna be staterooms. You see you've got staterooms along this corridor. But if you come this way, you're gonna come out to the lower section of the pool. This is the very top part of the atrium. This is also how it gets all of its sunlight downstairs. I'll turn the camera a wee little bit. If you're one of those people that gets nervous that you're gonna drop your camera when you do something like that, like I am, I'm like holding on for dear life with both hands. So you see they also have some Park West artwork here. They do have Park West on board. They're on many cruise ships these days. Just make sure you're researching them and you know what's going on before you buy anything. Coming outside to deck 9. So this is where it's much different than most cruise lines that I'm on, is this V-shaped kind of layout they've got. You're gonna have the football game on now. You're gonna have 2 different bars on each side. You're also gonna have, I think you can get and exchange your towels over there, but you're gonna have the BlueIguana tequila bar. But the more important bar I found has been the Red Frog rum bar. This is where most people hang out. I don't know if it's because there's more shade over here, but this place is hopping most days. Behind these folks, you're gonna see that there is a table that you can sit at to kind of get away from everything. If you want to sneak behind everyone, I can sneak behind everyone as we walk through here. You'll see, this is the section I'm talking about. It stays pretty empty, so if you just want to get away, you want to find a table somewhere, this is a good spot to come. Coming back around, you're going to see that they got a few restaurants over here. Hopefully it's not too loud with the game playing. You've got your burger bar on this side. So if you want a burger, this is complimentary. And it is Guy's Burger, so Guy Fieri does have the burgers on board here. I can't talk about how good they are because I'm just not a burger person. That's not what I gravitate towards. You've got the BlueIguana, which also has a cantina. They did have tacos, burritos, things of that nature that you can eat here. They actually looked really good. I've not had the chance to do it yet, but they do look good. Here's how you can make your burrito, if that is something you're interested in. Choose your tortilla, select your toppings, and they've got ice cream machines. They actually have a decent amount of ice cream machines on here. I have been impressed for the size of the ship. They got ice cream all over the place. Coming into their buffet or their restaurant, you're gonna see that their coffee selections are a little bit different. You've got regular and decaf. You're gonna wanna press and hold the button here to turn those on and to dispense your coffee. It is traditional drip coffee. I found it to be a little bit on the strong side, but maybe you like it. They're also gonna have a hot chocolate machine. So I don't know who here loves hot chocolate. I certainly do. It is very good. And they do change the flavors out on the Vitality drinks. See this on most cruise lines, but they've had some decent ones. Right now it's all lemonade. All right, so there's not many people looking at the food right now. So let's come over here and I'll give you a quick tour of what you can expect if you come in here from an eating perspective. They do have salad bars, but like most places, make sure you are not staying in the front section here, that you are moving towards the back. There is more food in the back. So they do a really good job here of having about 6 different stations, 3 on each side of the food. If you come in and that first section has got a lot of people at it, keep walking, push through. The one time that I find that you might see some differences is at breakfast. They have a lot of different stations and bars for breakfast that you can get different things from. So just make sure you're seeing what those are. Like for instance, you have your deli section here. So if you want a deli sandwich, you can come here, but they also do different stuff for lunch too. So this is stand in line. It is complimentary still, but easy to get. Coming through, you've got the comfort kitchen. All of these different kitchens or different stations have different names to them. They all serve the same thing though, so don't worry. So this is where you're gonna have, actually maybe there's only 4 of them. I said 6, there's 4 of them, 2 on each side. This is where you're gonna have, again, the same food we would have just seen earlier. And what I will call out to you is, you know, it hasn't been that busy in here. It's one thing I always look for in the buffet area is it busy? I'm gonna go upstairs in a different way, not from these stairs here. You got your food or desserts that's in there in the middle. I've been eating upstairs simply because there's even less people up there and I can get away. When I'm eating, I don't necessarily like to always be on top of people. But now let's walk outside. I do love the fact that you can also take your food and eat outside. That is a huge thing for me on any cruise ship. Oh, excuse me. And I do love the ability to come and do this. So I got some tables here for you, and you've got the Pizza Pirate. This is where you're gonna find pizza most of the time. So most of the time that you want pizza, this is where you're gonna come from. They actually haven't had anything in the display cabinet. They just have it over here where you can simply order it and they will cut it and provide it to you. If you are coming for late night snacks, that's gonna be on the buffet. It will not be here either. So you've got here the solarium pool, which I think is a really cool spot. You've got a hot tub over there. Beautiful views in the back. Normally I take my food to one of those back tables there and I will eat there. But this is really nice. The roof is retractable, though it looks like they've got it closed all except that front part. That seems to be the normal trend that I've seen. It's just that front section is open. This bar here has also been pretty popular and is also open late. I was here last night at 12:30 because I went to that adult comedy show and then happened to get hungry, as one does on a cruise ship, and this bar was still open. So if you want to come here, get some fresh air, be able to sit outside a little bit, this is a good spot. So as I'm coming up the stairs now to deck 10, funny story. So I was coming up here earlier and I wanted to get out. It was nighttime, so I really couldn't see. I saw the door here, I was on the other side, and it had a handle here, and I was trying to get out, and luckily somebody saw me. They were like, turn to your left. And I was like, oh, the entrance is over here. Great, so did not know that. But anyway, so even I'm learning on this cruise ship. Back here in the back, I'll show you the two different hot tubs actually in the solarium and the opening that it has there for you. But if you want to come here, hang out, you can certainly do it. I'm not always a fan of being here because it's just away from water, and I feel like when I'm on a boat, I like to be near some water. Luckily here, you can literally jump downstairs, so it's not that terribly far away, and there normally is a good breeze up here. You can also now get a better view of Grand Bahamas. So, Celebration K Key, I honestly don't know which one they call it here. I assume they say K, is part of Grand Bahamas Island. So you can see it's a big stretch, but that right there is all of Celebration Key. It is a big spot. So while I'm here, we're on deck 10 now. I'm gonna bump up to deck 11 real quick just to show you what is up here. I'm not gonna spend too terribly much time up here, but it is worth showing. So it again is just another sun deck, a little bit of a track, and you can walk down farther. Not too terribly much going on up here. I'm gonna go back this way just because I find it a little bit more interesting. And honestly, I get lost on this ship pretty easily. It's my first time here and I don't find it intuitive. It's a lot of starting and stopping and going all over. But as promised, I did want to show you the upstairs to the barbecue joint where it's just more quiet, where you can come and eat. So they've got a good section here for breakfast. Again, like I was saying, you got to look around some. The barbecue joint has chicken and waffles. Actually, it was for lunch. Yesterday it had chicken and waffles, so I could not have been happier when they had that. But it's really good meal. This is also complimentary. Most things in here are complimentary. Oh, they got the chicken and waffles are back now. Hey, hello, hello. I did the hot honey. That was my personal favorite one.
Thank you.
And then coming on around here, looks like this is a popular space for the crew also to come and eat. So it's not just me telling you to do it. The crew are already doing it. So if they're doing it, you got to do it too. But leave them alone. They're on break. We don't want to bother them, so be careful about that. They work too hard for us to interrupt their lunch break. All right, I just think it's neat. I'm gonna show you some of the technology here. This is part of the roof that slides, and you can kind of see the 3 pillars here that make that happen as it continues and goes on. Coming through, we are now on the starboard side, and so this is also the smoking section of the ship. So all of this, you see that they've got ashtrays that you can grab a cigarette, smoke out here. I will say that if you want to smoke something different than cigarettes out here, or clothes for that matter, they do have dogs. They have narcotics dogs on Carnival, something I wasn't expecting. They had it when we were boarding. That made a lot of sense. But they have them on board this ship too. So you can't really get away with much on this ship in the way of doing that stuff. How's it going? Continuing on. But it is a nice place to come and sit because they've got these umbrellas. They can put some chairs out. I actually think that it's a super cool area and a nice place to be able to hang out. Coming back through, we're still on deck 11. And this is where your DJ is going to be. So you see the space there. Actually, I'm going to pop in here real quick just to see. We're not on deck 11, we're on deck 10. So here's one thing that I didn't realize. You've got these push to open buttons. They will not open if you do not press those. But the reason I wanted to bop in here is you've got the point You've got your specialty restaurants. Do y'all mind if I film real quick? Just a shot of the location? Thank you. Be done in 20 seconds. So this is the Steakhouse if you want to come here. It is a classic steakhouse right above the buffet we're at before. So you may have seen that staircase where you can't go up. This is where the point is going to be. So if you want a special occasion, you want an anniversary, beautiful views of outside, lots of light coming in. And these wonderful people will be glad to get you a reservation for that. There is an upcharge for it. I want to say on this sailing, it's about $59. Don't hold me to that. That is what my memory is telling me. Coming back outside, good views of the pool. So where I'd like to stay, number one, you've got your DJ here. They're actually interactive, so I like being able to see them. You've got the pool on the other side and the stadium seating. I personally came over here to the left for our sea day. There was plenty of seats every day, or every moment of the sea day, which I was shocked by, that there was more than a plenty of seats. The pool also did not get that busy. So you'll see now even people aren't in it. It's one of those that it's a little bit on the deep side, so you do have to swim if you are in the pool. But it is still a decent pool. You got 2 hot tubs here, and then you see you've got another pool up here. So we're up to what, 3 pools, 4 hot tubs at this point. So for this size of ship, I feel like it's doing really good on some of the amenities that it offers. So instead of walking up here, I'm just gonna cut inside real quick, show you what is here, and then we'll start going upstairs because that's where my favorite section of this ship is, which is the Serenity Lounge. Can I get out through here? Yes. Or it's not even a lounge, Serenity Retreat, I guess is what it's officially called. But we're gonna get up to that in a little bit. All right, so looks like I've come in and this is stateroom. So this is where I, once again, have gotten turned around, but I think that that's quite all right. I will call out that I've actually really enjoyed the hallways here. I came on the ship thinking it was gonna be old, a little dilapidated, but the wood grain, the paneling, the hallways, it all feels like a normal cruise ship, if not a little bit nicer than some of the other cruise lines' older ships where they've not maintained the inside as well as I would have liked them to. All right, coming up to deck 11, this is where you're gonna have your Carnival Spa. Now this is the 3rd day. I have still not been in here yet, so we're gonna take a look, which I should have. I should have come to the gym, but it did not open until 6 p.m. on debarkation day, and then I just kind of lost some of my will. So that is the locker room. Which way to the fitness center? That way? Through the gym or through the locker room? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna turn the camera off for the locker room. All right, so that was a little bit more complicated than I thought it should have been. The access to the locker rooms is based on men's and females. You gotta cut through the locker room. Luckily, that allowed me to share with you all that there is a sauna, there's a steam room. Their locker room is actually really, really nice. So they've got all their treadmills here set up to be looking outside, though it is kind of weird how you've got the mirror up above it. I don't know if you can tell that or not. So it's an odd kind of angle, but they made good use of this space at least. Coming over here to your weights, I see this is a ton of dumbbells, and we're gonna go up to, I can't read what that is. That might just be 75, looks like the highest one there. Surprised, I would have thought that that would have been more than that, but it is what it is, and that's gonna be fine for most people. Only 2 benches, so it's interesting. 2 benches and literally, what, is that 100 different weights that you can choose from? So that's kind of surprising how they stocked it, but it is nice. It's super bright, which I always like. You've got your section in here with your spin bikes, and you can do some classes. Those are all gonna come at an additional fee, but you can quickly see the gym here. Again, very nice, plenty of exercise equipment. This side feels a little bit more spread out, which I always appreciate and like. So I think when I come in here, hopefully this afternoon, because I do want to work out here, I'm gonna have a really good experience, especially if it stays this quiet and that there's nobody in here. It's probably about 1:30, so everybody's at Celebration Key. All aboard is coming up very soon at 4:30 though. All right, so as I walk back, we're gonna cut back out through the locker room. So I'm turning the camera off because I don't film in locker rooms. See you on the other side. All right, coming out of the spa, you'll see that there is this sole elevator here. This only goes from this deck up to the deck right above, which is the Serenity area. Looks like it's currently turned off, so if you need access to that, I'm sure somebody in the spa can help you out and turn that on. And you see, this is where it comes to. So this is my favorite part of the ship, is Serenity Adults Only Retreat. Love those words. Pushing this heavy door, you'll see that it's also the most well furnished of all of the places. So you've got couches here again made for larger groups of people. You've got your main pool section over there, so you're not too terribly far away. But I love, 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 love the fact that these chairs have couches, or not couches, cushions. So that is why I'm gonna gravitate towards these every single day, and it's one reason I'm probably still not in Celebration Key, because they don't have cushions in Celebration Key. And I wanted a cushion so I could read my book. So here is the bar that is up here. This actually keeps a pretty decent line, because I think it's the only one that's really close to here. But if you want some drinks, that is a good go-to spot for you. Coming through here, you're gonna have, I think this is a kids area through here, so I never really filmed those. But coming up here to the very forward section of the ship, you'll see you can walk fully around. You've got these clamshells, which are gonna be first come, first serve. They, as you can see, are always a popular item. Show you real quick what it looks like over at Celebration Key. I'll go up and above. It is a beautiful place, and it looks like they're even expanding it a little bit to the right. Anybody have word of that? All right, so this is going to come to an end, mainly because you do have the kids section over on the other side where they can play. So we're gonna walk back the other way, and we're gonna head upstairs. And then I will show you quickly mini golf, which is all the way on the other side. So we've got a few more things to look at, and then we'll be done. So it is not a large ship. It's laid out kind of confusing, but I actually am enjoying myself here. And it's been a lot more relaxing than I thought that it was gonna be. So I'm actually looking forward to coming on this ship again whenever the stars align and that works out. All right, so we're coming up once again. So this is deck 14. Notice we went from 12 to 14. Cruise ships, except for MSC, does not have a 13. But your cushion chairs continue on, but you're also gonna have a hot tub. This is why most people can come up here. Even later in the day, this is where they're gonna be. And it is adults only, which everybody always loves. And it will stay packed, but luckily with adults. We'll say the ones down below have stayed packed with more kids, but I haven't seen a lot of kids on this ship. But as kids do, if there's a hot tub involved, they are absolutely going to gravitate towards that. You will see that you've also got the slide entrance here. There is one slide, so it's nothing fancy. She's an old ship, right? But they do have one slide if you want to enjoy doing that. I'm sure there's probably a disclaimer, waiver you have to sign. This is also a really cool spot. The sail-away party on the ship is gonna be over the top. Like this section down here on deck 9 is gonna be jammed with people, actually 9, 10, 11. I came up here, had really good views, could see everything out of the crowd, and really, really nice. If they are doing an event down there, I would tell you Carnival rocks up for its outdoor events, and deck 9 can be tough to navigate, so try to avoid it during those times. All right, so you see the TV. We're gonna pop out right on the other side of that, so give me 1 second. All right, so this may look familiar to you if I would have kept walking when I walked up here earlier, where the very top of this is above the buffet. You would have seen that they've got a pickleball court, they've got a basketball court, and some other items up here. And this is also where mini golf is. So it looks like it is chained up in locks right now. So here, don't know that we're gonna be able to make it for that way. They're also putting some varnish up on this side, I believe. So I might not be able to walk through, but if you want to ever see the back of a Jumbotron, that's what it looks like. Multiple different TVs, and it is closed as anticipated. So, sorry guys, not gonna be able to show you the golf course, but this is where it is at. So if you do want to come to the golf course, you're just gonna simply walk up these couple of stairs right here and proceed to the left-hand side, and you can kind of see it up there. basketball court on the other side, pickleball on this side. So that concludes the full ship walking tour of the Carnival Conquest. I am so excited to finally be able to share with you all, my thoughts on a Carnival Cruise Line ship. I have not been here for ages. I've been seeing the Conquest, whether I'm beside of it in Nassau, beside of it in Miami. We've been running the same kind of paths and have never crossed before. So super excited to bring the full ship walking tour of the Carnival Conquest to you. If I forgot something in walking around here, I didn't do something correctly, do let me know down in the comments. People watch these things, and if I forgot something, I wanted them to know that it is still there. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. I'm hoping to see you on a Weekend Cruise soon.